Ever wondered if the Devil's Pact is more than just a myth? Let's take a stroll down the annals of history and find out. The concept of making a pact with the devil is as old as the hills. It was a widely held belief during the Middle Ages that one could strike a deal with the devil for worldly gains. This belief was often linked with witchcraft and black magic, practices that were deemed heretical and punishable by death. Now, why would anyone want to make a pact with the devil? Well, the reasons varied. Some sought wealth, others desired power, while a few were driven by their quest for forbidden knowledge. The devil, they believed, could grant them their heart's desires, albeit at a hefty price. One of the most infamous examples of this belief comes from the tale of Dr. Faustus. A character from German folklore, Faustus was a scholar who was disillusioned with the limits of human knowledge. He desired to know more, to understand the mysteries of the universe that were beyond the reach of ordinary mortals. And so he turned to dark magic and made a pact with the devil. In exchange for his soul, the devil granted him extraordinary knowledge and magical abilities. But the tale of Faustus is not an isolated case. There are numerous other examples from different cultures and periods that attest to the existence of this belief. The Devil's Pact was not limited to individuals either. There are accounts of entire communities who are believed to have made a pact with the devil, often blamed for outbreaks of disease, crop failures, and other calamities. These tales and beliefs, whether fact or fiction, shed light on the human desire for power and knowledge and the lengths some would go to attain them. They also serve as cautionary tales, warning of the dangers of overreaching one's bounds and the consequences of unchecked ambition. So the Devil's Pact is not a new concept, but rather a centuries-old belief. And as we delve deeper into this topic, you'll find that these ancient beliefs still resonate in our modern world, albeit in different forms and contexts. It's not just history. The Devil's Pact has seeped into literature and pop culture as well. The Devil's Pact, or the selling of one's soul, is a recurring theme in literature, going back centuries. From Marlowe's Dr. Faustus to Goethe's Faust, we see characters trading their eternal souls for temporal gains. These characters, often driven by ambition or desperation, strike a bargain with the devil, receiving extraordinary powers or knowledge in exchange for their souls. In the realm of pop culture, the Devil's Pact has found its way into music and movies. Perhaps the most famous example is the legend of blues musician Robert Johnson. It's said that Johnson, longing for musical greatness, took his guitar to a crossroad at midnight where he met the devil. In return for his soul, Johnson received the ability to play the guitar like no other. Whether or not this is true, Johnson's music certainly had a profound impact on the blues genre and continues to inspire musicians today. In film, we see the Devil's Pact come to life in movies like Rosemary's Baby and The Devil's Advocate. These films explore the idea of individuals or couples making a deal with the devil for personal gain, often with disastrous results. In the world of literature and pop culture, the Devil's Pact serves as a cautionary tale. It highlights the consequences of unchecked ambition and the dangerous allure of quick and easy success. It's a reminder that our choices have consequences and that there's often a heavy price to pay for our desires. The Devil's Pact has permeated our culture, inspiring countless stories and songs, and continues to be a source of fascination. It's a testament to our collective fascination with the forbidden, the supernatural, and the price of ambition. Even today, the Devil's Pact continues to fascinate and influence the world of art and entertainment. But how does one supposedly make a pact with the devil? You may find yourself asking this question, not out of genuine intent, but out of sheer curiosity. Well, the process, as described in various sources, is as intricate as it is eerie. It's a ritual that begins with a straightforward invocation. This is not like calling a friend on the phone, mind you. It's more like standing at the crossroads of reality and the supernatural and beckoning to the unseen. The invocation is often in Latin, a language believed to carry significant spiritual weight. It's a plea, a beckoning for the devil to appear. Some sources mention the use of specific phrases, while others suggest improvisation. The common thread, however, is the summoner's unwavering belief in the power of their words. Following the invocation is the offering, a symbolic gesture to show the devil that you are serious. This could be anything from personal belongings to something more sinister, but remember, we're treading in the realm of folklore here, not facts. Then comes the most chilling part of the process, the signing of a contract. This isn't your typical lease agreement or employment contract. Oh no. This is a contract signed in blood, a physical manifestation of the pact. The contract is said to detail the terms of the agreement, what the devil will provide and what he expects in return. It's important to note that these descriptions aren't based on empirical evidence. They're rooted in hearsay, folklore, and superstition. They're tales spun by generations past, designed to instill fear or to explain the unexplainable. So before you find yourself getting too absorbed, remember that these are stories, not instructions. They're windows into the human psyche and its fascination with the unknown, not factual accounts. These rituals, as chilling as they sound, are the stuff of legends and folklore. So, take them with a grain of salt, and always remember that reality is often stranger than fiction. But what drives a person to consider making a pact with the devil? Well, it's a complex interplay of various psychological factors. Generally, the individuals who consider such extreme measures often find themselves in a state of desperation. They may feel cornered, hopeless, or overwhelmed by the circumstances of their lives. It's like being in a dark room with no exits visible, and the offer of a pact becomes the only glimmer of light, a tempting escape route. Then there's ambition. The thirst for power, wealth, or success can be so overwhelming that it blurs the lines between right and wrong. The promise of quick and easy success can lure even the most morally upright individuals into considering a pact with the devil. The desire for knowledge, too, can be a potent motivator. The devil, as depicted in various mythologies, is often seen as a being of immense knowledge and wisdom. The prospect of gaining access to such knowledge can be irresistible to some, enticing them towards a devil's pact. Now let's bring in the concept of cognitive dissonance. This psychological theory proposes that individuals strive for consistency within their beliefs and actions. When there's a conflict, they experience discomfort and are driven to resolve it. So how does this apply to our discussion? Well, when a person considers making a pact with the devil, they're essentially trying to reconcile their desperate need or desire with their moral compass. They may begin to rationalize their actions, telling themselves that the ends justify the means, or that they'll use the gained power or knowledge for good. This is cognitive dissonance in action, a mental gymnastics of sorts to maintain consistency in their beliefs. It's a fascinating, albeit grim, exploration into the human psyche. The allure of power, the desperation to escape hardship, the thirst for knowledge, all these factors can push individuals to the brink, nudging them towards the idea of a devil's pact. The human mind, in its quest for power or answers, can sometimes tread on dangerous paths. So, are devil's pacts real or merely the stuff of legends and desperate minds? This is the question we've been grappling with throughout our exploration of this topic. To begin, let's consider the empirical evidence, or rather the lack thereof. Despite countless stories and tales, there is no concrete proof that anyone has successfully made a pact with the devil. No document, no physical manifestation, no verifiable account. This absence of evidence doesn't categorically disprove the possibility, but it certainly raises doubts. The idea of a devil's pact is an enticing one, isn't it? The promise of power, wealth, or eternal youth in exchange for something as ethereal as a soul. It's the ultimate get-rich-quick scheme, a shortcut to bypass the hardships of life. But as with all things that seem too good to be true, there's a catch. Indulging in such beliefs can lead to a dangerous path. It can cause psychological harm, fostering a sense of paranoia, fear, and guilt. It can distort one's perception of reality, leading to a loss of control over one's life. And it can make one vulnerable to exploitation by unscrupulous individuals, ready to take advantage of those desperate enough to believe. These individuals, masquerading as mediators between humans and the devil, often prey on the vulnerable. They promise to broker a deal, but in reality, they're only interested in personal gain. They exploit people's hopes, fears, and desperation, leaving them in a worse state than before. So while the idea of a devil's pact is undoubtedly intriguing, it's important to approach it with a healthy dose of skepticism. It's a fascinating concept to explore, a rich vein of narrative in literature and culture, but when it comes to reality, it's crucial to remember that it's just that, a concept. While The Devil's Pact makes for a fascinating tale, it remains just that, a tale.